Speech language pathologist. Defined is a professional who identifies, prevents, evaluates, and treats individuals with communication disorders. However, what people don't see is that to be a speech pathologist, you should have characteristics of open mindedness, having a diverse understanding of listening, being able to handle a spectrum of personalities, are pretty flexible, and can handle unpredictable outbursts or emotions. Another thing people might not recognize is that most of these characteristics are in the job descriptions of speech communication and public speaking. However, both speech pathologists and public speakers offer one undeniable similarity and it's that to make an impact in someone's life by applying the skills and passions you yourself have. This leads me to a quote about Tom Hopper himself. He states that what I learned about stammering was that when, as a young child, you lose the confidence of anyone who wants to listen to you. You lose confidence in your voice and the right of speech. And a lot of therapy was saying you have a right to be heard. This is why I believe that speech communication studies are beneficial in the daily life of a speech pathologist for many reasons. Diversity and variety in both the work setting and clientele are essential in both fields. For speech pathologists, your workplace could be virtually anywhere. Some examples would be a home health agency, public and private schools, rehab centers, hospital settings, nonprofit agencies, and corporations. As for clientele, they can range from toddlers to elderly, depending on the situation. Some instances could be autism or if you had a stroke. For public speaking, the world is pretty much your oyster. They, if they wanted to, could work for themselves, meaning you could become a professional speaker. Some other jobs that could be linked to speech communications could be a professor, an English/speech elementary or high school teacher, or even an oral and theaters director. As for their customers, like a speech pathologist, they could have a wide variety of people depending on the situation. For public speakers, it would depend on who they wanted the target audience to be and what they wanted the people to interpret in the message. As for other occupations, they could range from young children to mid-adults, depending on the level of communications you were taking. Both fields use special techniques and methods to further enhance children's and young adults' thinking and interacting. Some of the main methods and disorders speech pathologists use and treat are speech fluency/stuttering, social and pragmatic language, and cognitive communication skills. In speech fluency and stuttering, the main goal is to improve the flow of the speech. As for social pragmatic language, the main goals are to use the language to communicate in different ways, to change the language according to your surroundings, and use the general terms for conversation. As for in cognitive communication skills, the main goal is to improve attention, memory, abstract reasoning, awareness, and execute functions. As you can see, these methods or disorders speech pathologists use are major points for public speakers also. With that said, by knowing the latter information, I can prove that these fields of communications are complementary. Both communication studies and speech pathology main goal is to help educate and empower people into becoming better speakers. According to the ASHA, there are 21 training programs in the US for speech pathologists, as there are probably many programs to major in speech communications. Both fields needing to be certified and or licensed could help make people feel more secure and reliable on accepting help from these professionals. Also, by feeling more secure and open towards these professionals in their field, not only breaks down barriers of communication, but also makes that person that much more accepting towards succeeding in their speech-related journey. Putting all the technicalities aside, knowing that both fields and studies are impacting people's main life source of communication, which is to interact with people efficiently, is the most rewarding. This is why I believe speech communication studies are beneficial of the daily lives of speech pathologists.